Hi, my name is Taryn. I'm an Advanced Sports Dietitian and founder of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program. Come with me and I'm going to take you behind the scenes at a sneak peek at what it looks like when you're logged in as an athlete with access to the TNA program. Now, when you're in your library, you have access to a lot of tools and resources that are really designed to help making eating for three sports easy. So let's dive into the TNA program. I want to show you just the breadth of how much stuff we cover. There are 36 masterclasses inside the program. We've got 5 pages sitting here, and it's broken up in 3 phases. So, phase 1 really covers all of our day-to-day nutrition foundations. So, things like recovery nutrition, pre-training nutrition, as those 2 bookends to your training are going to have the biggest bang for your buck out of that session, as well as how to set up your daily meal plan and what to eat on a daily basis and periodizing that to training. So whether it's a easy day, a light day, a moderate training day, or a really hard day. So the way that you eat needs to be matched to your training load, as well as some important nutrients that are so key for you when you do endurance exercise, like iron and calcium, and making sure you're getting enough, as well as the foundations of ride and run fuel. Now, the program, it looks like you have it all here, but it does actually drip on a weekly basis. So when you very first join, you get access to your recovery nutrition masterclass. And then 1 week later, you'll get access to pre-training nutrition. And that's because I've designed the program to systematically teach you everything that you need to know rather than overwhelm you with too much information at once. Because I want you to actually do stuff with this rather than just buy something and never use it. So it is dropped every week. At the end of each phase, there is also 4 bonus master classes to help with some extra things that I know you need that are going to help where we don't have a power hour session on that week. And you'll see here we're moving into our phase 2 stuff, where we start to tackle our race nutrition strategies. We talk about race nutrition for every single distance, sprint, Olympic, 70.3 and full distance racing, as well as all the elements that you need to have a successful day out in the office, like caffeine, carb loading, what the story is with multiple transportable carbohydrates. And here are some examples of the bonus masterclasses at the end of phase 2. So the other thing that is important to note, I want to show you, I'm going to take you into a masterclass and I'll show you what it looks like when you're inside. So let's look at pre-training nutrition as an example. So you'll see here you have, hang on, let's just go one step in. You'll have each masterclass is pre-recorded, so you can watch that at any time once it's available on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, when you're on the wind trainer, when you're going out for a run, while you're waiting for an Uber. I've made it so that it's really accessible for you to fit into an already really busy life. So you have a video to watch. They go from anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes. This one's a particularly long one at 57 minutes, but they're not all that long. And you can consume it in any of those ways, like on your phone when you're driving, and you can listen, or you can sit down on a computer and watch. You also have downloads for each lesson as well. So here we've got a fuel or fast decision tree. You get the slides for the masterclass, as well as potentially some sort of worksheet. And some of those are either PDFs or we have spreadsheets as well that take away all of the calculating and the thinking and the planning that you need to develop something. For an example, carbohydrate loading, there's a spreadsheet to help you make that whole process super stress-free and easy because I've done all the heavy lifting for you. Then each week for the first 8 weeks of each phase, we have a live power hour session with me, and you'll see that there's a place here that you can submit your questions for me, and you can join the live call here. Now, they are live, but if you can't make it, that's totally okay because they do get recorded. And then let me take you out to a power hour and I'll show you what it looks like. Here is a previous cohort. So all of the recordings get housed and uploaded into your library on that day. And then what we do is we timestamp the discussion. So if you couldn't make it, then all of the questions that we've covered and what people have talked about gets timestamped in there. And then it is a small group as well. So can you see it without me playing it? That is the question. You'll see You'll see there's not hundreds of thousands of people online. It is a nice, small, unique group. Everyone's got their videos on. Nobody's on mute. We are having a discussion. And so you can learn from me. Make sure you get all of your questions answered. You're not stuck. You have a plan for recovery nutrition. You can bring your carbohydrate loading worksheet, spreadsheet to me. I will have a look at it. There may be an example. We were looking for a DEXA scanning place in this one. Sometimes we open up somebody's plan and we have a look at it, but I can't see that to show you, so that you have an advanced sports dietitian reviewing your things most weeks and you can get really fast feedback. So that is a good example of what Power Hour looks like, and it's one of the main questions that we get. So they're the two main parts of the program. Weekly masterclass, it gets released each week, and then Power Hour every week with me. So you need about 1 to 2 hours a week to really get the most out of this program, and it can be in your own time. You don't have to come live to Power Hour. I would encourage you to come live if you can, but if you cannot make it, that's totally okay, because it's set up for you so that it will work wherever you are in the world. We have athletes in the UK who are always asleep at Power Hour. It's maybe midnight when it's live, and they can get the most, but they can still get the same amount of the amount out of the program as somebody that can jump on live. So that's the masterclasses and Power Hour. You also have access to the dietitian approved recipe database, which includes over 200 dietitian developed athlete friendly recipes. We have categories of, there's a few little how-to things that I'll be adding to over time. You know, how to make the perfect poached egg, how to cook brown rice. There's breakfast, there's snacks, there's main meals, there's sauces, dressings, and condiments. There's a small but mighty dessert section, and there's a carbohydrate loading section to make that process super easy for you. And there's also a little fussy kids section, because I know a lot of our athletes do have kids and struggle to get them to eat well. So let me show you an example of a recipe. I'm going to find the chicken burgers, which is one of the free recipes. So what makes this different from any recipe that you'll find on the internet is that it is built with you as a triathlete in mind. The macronutrients and the nutrients of this recipe hit particular targets that I've set as your sports dietitian, so that you can be confident that if you choose anything out of here, you know that it'll be hitting the sweet spot for what you need. So there's a full nutrition breakdown per patty, and then if you made it as a burger as an example. And one of the things I love to share is how many fruit and vegetable serves you are getting when you make my recipes, as well as the method and the ingredients to cook that, just to make it super easy. And you'll notice that a lot of my recipes are quite quick to make. They're not slaving away in the kitchen for hours on end with like 600 different ingredients, and then you end up dirtying every single pot that you own to cook that recipe. They are going to be able to be done in less than 30 minutes, because I know how time poor you are and you want to eat well, but you want to eat fast. So that is what a recipe does look like. It is very different to something that you will find just on the internet. And I can show you how to pick and choose the right recipes based on your day of training or your training week or your block. And that is the benefit of working with me in Power Hours. I can help guide you. You also have access to the summer salads recipes, which includes 24 salad recipes that are not just boring rabbit food, as well as a really powerful homemade dressings section here, because it is so easy to make salad dressings yourself. You just need to know the right combinations of ingredients to get the right flavors, and then you will never have to buy store-bought packaged jar salad dressings ever again. So that's there. Then you also have the weekly menu planner. Now there's a menu for summer, autumn, winter, and spring. Let's go into summer and I will show you what that looks like, because people really do love this. It is a really easy way to have your meals for dinners mapped out for you for the week from a sports dietitian. So if I click into here, you'll see that you've got the recipe, like the meal for that week. Let me show you what it looks like. This is what, to whatever. I just hit pause. This is what it looks like. I've planned your dinners. I've given you the recipe to follow in the recipe database, and then you have a shopping list to go and get everything that you need to eat for that week for dinners. All you have to do is add your breakfast foods and your lunch foods, and you have an entire plan for the week without overthinking it. People love this resource, particularly when they're traveling, they're busy, they just print this out or have a look at it online on their phone, add all of these things from the shopping list to their online order, and then they know that their week is set up for success, and all of that thinking and at least 2 hours of organization time has been done for them. So that is a great little resource that not everyone uses. This one has got the kale and broccoli salad in it, salmon stir fry, grilled lamb and veggies with couscous, and then my dietitian approved nachos. And you will notice that there's leftovers on at least sort of 2 nights a week there for nights where you're out training. You need dinner to be done. You don't want to be slaving away in the kitchen. You want to get your recovery nutrition in fast. So that is another great resource. And it's just part of my job to make nutrition your secret weapon. I wanted to show you behind the scenes so that you can see the all-inclusiveness and encompassing nature of the program. I've tried to think of everything to make your life easy, to educate you on what you need to eat for 3 sports, and then take away all the extra stress and overwhelm and time that it takes to then go and eat what you need. I've had athletes use meal plans and apps to try and do this for them, and they really just fall short because it's not a long-term strategy when you have no idea about how to actually do this for yourself. So I have developed all of these tools and resources to bring that to life for you specifically as a triathlete so that you can recover faster, train harder, and reach your goals faster. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.